back here. An area fishing pier is now set to be completely demolished early next week. The Copano Bay Fishing Pier has certainly seen better days in the past. On August 31st, TxDOT crews will begin the demolition process. It was back in 2017 when the 89-year-old pier was permanently closed to the public after a section of it collapsed into the water. The project as a whole is expected to cost about $2.7 million and 9 months to complete. TxDOT says work shouldn't affect the nearby public boat ramp, which will remain open.